I recently did a review for the Emperor's Throne Room LEGO set, and I plan to follow up with another review for a set that I got the same weekend, that being the Endor Speeder Chase, which cost $80. And again, I went back to asking myself, is this set worth $80? Well, let's dive into it and find out. Hello there, and welcome back to episode 5 here on the channel. Today we're reviewing the Endor Speeder Bike Chase between arguably the best stormtroopers in my opinion, the Biker Scouts, and Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker, and Rebel Leader General Leia Organa. This is set number 75353, and it has 608 pieces. Right now for shelf price, it goes for $80 in stores. Before we take a closer look into this set, I just have to say that this was one of my absolute favorite scenes from the original trilogy. I remember growing up watching this scene repeatedly, and afterwards reenacting this scene with my Star Wars Galactic heroes over and over again. This scene in particular is what finally got me on the bandwagon to spend some money on the LEGO Star Wars diorama sets when this particular set was announced to come out. I know there's been some controversy in the LEGO community about how much this set is actually worth, but I didn't care because I knew at some point I was going to pick this set up, and after getting it and putting it together, I decided I wanted to make a video reviewing why this set may or may not be worth it for you. So taking a closer look now, you can see the set again comes with 3 minifigures, just like the Emperor's Throne Room set, including one Biker Scout Trooper, Luke, and Leia in their respective Endor camouflage outfits. First, taking a look at Luke, you'll notice he has really detailed camouflage printing to blend in with the forest environment on the planet moon of Endor. Working from bottom to top, his legs are dark tan with a part of his black robe showing on the front, followed by his camouflage covering. The printing for his torso is also dark tan, but detailed front and back with again, more camouflage printing. He's also wearing a brown utility belt, which is designed very nicely. If you look closely, you'll notice his right hand is black to resemble his glove he wears over his now robotic hand, since he lost it in the last duel between him and Darth Vader, while his left hand matches the skin tone of his head. Speaking of his head, it's the exact same 2 face prints we reviewed last episode in the Emperor's Throne Room. However, he does have an Endor helmet instead of his new unique hairpiece for this set. He also comes equipped with his iconic green lightsaber, so you can reenact the scene where Luke defends himself from the Biker Scout and cuts the speeder bike in half like we see in the movie. Moving on, we have Leia Organa in a similar but different camouflage design. Instead of her primary color being dark tan, her base color is olive green, which again, the printing detail for the minifigure is really nice. Starting with her legs, there's that olive green base color I mentioned a second ago. It contrasts very nicely with the light gray stripes on her legs. Moving up, she too wears a black utility belt, which has super detailed printing, including her holster for her blaster on the right. And moving to the middle, there's a nice buckle detail, followed by another pouch on the left side for some snacks or binoculars or whatever is needed for her survival. The camouflage design continues on the back of her torso as well. Her head print is very nice. I can look at the minifigure and recognize it as Leia. She also has dual-sided printing. One side of her face has an open mouth, gritty but stern smile, while the other side reveals a more passive, easygoing grin, and the helmet for her is the exact same as Luke's, as it should be. And finally, we have the Biker Scout Trooper. He is extremely cool looking in my opinion, and I was so excited to get him in this set. I do believe this is the exact same Biker Scout we got in the Mandalorian Razor Crest set, released back in 2021. And while I love the overall design of the minifigure, I can't help but feel a little disappointed that we didn't see any arm printing for him. Don't get me wrong, he looks fine without it, but at the same time, we are only getting one Biker Scout in this set, and for that $80 price point, it would have been nice to get a more exclusive, detailed version of this minifig to help balance the scales for the price of this set. Anyways, starting with the legs, he has some nice line detail printing representing his armor. Same with his torso, we see more of his pouches on his chest for his extended survival gear, and black arms and hands to break the contrast of all the white we've seen so far. Turning the minifigure around, you'll see there's printed detail of his backpack. His helmet is again the same one we've seen with the Razor Crest Biker Scout, which is a really good mold design, and I see no reason for LEGO to redo this helmet anytime soon. And his head has a generic scowl printed on, which is fairly common nowadays. Moving on from the minifigures, we then have our next exciting part of the set, which includes two slightly different brick-built speeder bikes. And before we really dive into these, I gotta say, I was really impressed with the overall design and scale of these speeders. Thumbs up to the LEGO designers on this one. This is by far their best speeder bike yet. Not only for their design, but the color too. Everything about these are perfect to me. Starting, like I mentioned, with the color of the speeders, I can't compliment enough how much better these look compared to the original brown brick-built speeders we've gotten prior, mostly because the dark tan color contrast between the speeders and the natural environment around them, it makes them stand out better than compared to before in other LEGO sets. If they would have done them brown again, I feel like it would have blended into the rest of the diorama too much for us to really notice them. But other than just the color of the bikes, the building techniques implemented for them was really fun and unique. It felt more like I was following instructions for someone else's mock rather than an official LEGO set, which usually feels like they cut corners to save on pieces, but not this time. And the detail within the bikes themselves, including the way they built the directional steering vanes at the front of the bike, the blaster cannon underneath the bike with the power cell next to it, the maneuver controls with the handlebars. They even added the altitude controls where the person operating the speeder would typically have their feet, even though the minifigure's legs can't reach. I love that they also included two lighter tan rounded bricks to represent the bags we see on the cargo compartment. This completely blew me away. The only difference between the two bikes is that one has some spare studs showing where the cargo compartment should be so that you can sit Luke or whoever else you want behind the person driving the speeder bike. And if you have enough pieces in your own collection, it wouldn't be hard to copy the cargo compartment like the other one to have two identical looking speeder bikes instead. I give this a solid 10 out of 10 on the speeder bike design. The main base of the set has tons of foliage scattered all around, including the brand new Flora piece we've only ever seen thus far in the new 2023 Rivendell set. And better yet, you managed to get 24 of those pieces in this set. Also included are 25 of the 3-leaf plant pieces and 15 of the 1x1 studded plant piece, both in green, along with the tree leaf bracket pieces in dark and olive green. So all in all, not a bad set if you're looking for plant pieces to add to your collection. Included within the diorama, there's a marked trail for the speeder bikes to follow, and on either side of the trail, there's two trees which are half completed. Half meaning that at the top, you can see the designers decided to make these trees look like they've been broken in half or cut down, which is fine to me because they at least included some extended branches with foliage to make the trees look more complete than they actually are. And you also don't want this set to be too tall either because this is meant to be displayed on a shelf. Something I forgot to mention in my last diorama set review was the inclusion of some special brick and tile pieces. This set includes a 2x4 tile with the LEGO Star Wars logo, another 2x6 tile with a quote from Luke Skywalker saying, "Quick, jam their comlinks, center switch," and finally a 1x4x3 high brick with the printed 40-year anniversary of the Return of the Jedi design showing Darth Vader. And that pretty much covers everything within the set itself. Now, once again, to answer the big question, is this set worth $80? And once again, the answer depends on a couple of things. First, like I've asked myself and others considering to buy this set before, does this set have meaning to you? Is this a purchase you will look back on at a later point and still be glad you bought? Or are you going to stick this in a box or a corner somewhere unseen where you will never look at it or use it again after you're done building it? Is this a scene from the movie you're willing to pay the $80 price tag for? For LEGO collectors out there, I'd say absolutely go in on this set. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, there's a lot of vegetation pieces included in this set that are great for using in other mocks. And if you're a fan of this scene or like the speeder bikes, then again, yes, definitely pick this set up if you can afford it. The other thing is, again, like I mentioned in my last review, LEGO seems to be having a reoccurring issue with the chance of pieces missing in their sets lately. This set specifically seems to have issues with a piece or two missing that's needed to complete the build for the trees. So if you're willing to accept the small chance that there might be a piece or two missing from the set you purchase, then again, I'd say go for it. Now, just to clarify, I'm not trying to discourage anyone from buying this or any other Lego set. I just want to give people all the facts before they go out to make purchases, especially if they're doing it based off of my content. And I'm not trying to bash on Lego themselves either. I've worked in a manufacturing plant and understand that manufacturing errors can occur sometimes, but unless the customers speak up about these issues, then the problems can't ever be resolved. Moving on, my overall thoughts and feelings on the set are again positive, and I would recommend LEGO Star Wars enthusiasts and collectors to get this set if they have the chance. And it's a lot easier to justify the price for $80 with this set than it was $100 for the Emperor's Throne Room. That being said, I can't help but feel like LEGO is taking advantage of the Star Wars trademark a little bit and raising the price simply because of the popularity in the franchise. Now, I could be wrong, but that's just my personal feelings on it. All that aside, and looking at this strictly as an experienced LEGO collector, I also don't feel like it's too unreasonable to say the price could be lowered down to $60 and everyone still gets a fair share, where LEGO still makes their money for the amount of pieces included in the set, and we as the customers don't feel like we're getting completely ripped off either. But regardless, at the end of the day, do I regret getting this set? The answer is no. For everything included, and the set as a whole to be displayed as a diorama, I personally feel I got my money's worth out of it. But if you happen to ever see this set go on sale, I definitely recommend picking it up because at that point you're getting a better deal than most, and I can confidently say that if you like the speeder bikes or Endor, then you will love building this set and seeing it displayed, especially if you can find a way to expand and add more to it. Hopefully this has helped you with your decision on whether or not to purchase this set. If it has, and you enjoyed today's content, then please help this channel out by leaving a like, sharing this video with your friends and family who love LEGO content, leaving your thoughts and opinions down below, and consider subscribing if you haven't already done so, as all of these things help me know you guys like the content you're seeing. And until next time, stay safe and have fun building.